And according to Silvan wish, we are going to continue diagram of coordination. But general view of this diagram make me cry when I open the file. Literally. When I see it, I'm terrified. If students bring me such a doodle, I'll be offended. I will feel that it's disrespect at all. And that is why we'll try to rework it once again accurately. Like we are repeating something and we simultaneously working with this. First, we will try to save aside somewhere this place. What up? No? It's enough? Enough. In case we need to refer, in case we need to repeat something or steal something, computer is jumping yet. Have saved it. Now, let's delete practically everything once. Better, of course, to repair these errors, but how? Ну, примерно так. Approximately like this. Almost good. And some lines. Those lines, once again, they are not necessary in the diagram. I draw those lines only in order I see what I do. And moreover, those different colors, errors, all those tricks that I do in front of you, they are not compulsory. I hope you understood. In diagram, you have only lines and you have blocks with names. My advice, as it comes about advice already, no? My advice to do those things in full names, wherever it's possible. If you write, for instance, TW, like it was yesterday, now I wrote TW. Do you remember what is it by now? Someone may say, TW is, what is it? Thank you. Much helpful. If you do not remember, say, we don't remember. Silvan, do you remember?
No, madam.
No. It's template of workpiece. If it's written by words, template of workpiece and abbreviation somewhere aside, TW, then it's easier for you during defense. Once again, this document, yes, it's formal document. It's according to some rules. Now we have seen what I did. Now the several levels. They are according to our rules. It's not my invention. Do forgive me. And according to our rules, you may use abbreviation or you may use full name, up to you. If I were you, I would use that and another. Так. First, we are starting with rim. And rim had outline and contour. No, some things I will copy and we will repeat what we are going to do. Some things above the all, I mean, this subway must be what those stories, now theoretical tables, 3D models, and so on. Before this, yesterday, I started, I hope you do remember, I started upside down. We talked about each part first, no? What this part has as elements of coordination. In our case, it's outline and contour. Rim. Do you need me to remind you what is the picture of rim and so on? Because each time in the video I start, no, sorry, maybe even wasting the time with explaining once again what part looks like. So one, necessary, not
No need.
necessary, same.
Not necessary.
Very well. Thank you. Так. Contour and outline, and they goes to this side and forming the rim. Must be another thickness of all the tools. Until I adjust them, it's also sometimes when I do mistakes. Outline, contour, rim as price, because actually you have three pieces of those rims, top one, left one, bottom, and right one. But as they are identically in technology, either way writing here top rim, left rim, right rim, or you may just write here rim as typical part. Design a little bit different. I mean, amount of cutouts, sizes, even cross-section thicknesses may be different. But mostly it comes about the same technological properties, same technological features of this part, and that is why we might see, we might consider this part like the only part. Once again, we have to cut it. How we're going to cut? How we're going to produce it? Yesterday we talked about. Let's try to see if it's possible. Oh, Vivian, this lady. I have not noticed this in the morning. Так, people, very interesting. Remind me next. I need to ask him who is this. Vivian Ivan Nazares. He has graduated university in 20s year, and now he's in Canada, and he already even graduated the next university in Canada. If you're interested, later I will explain you. Moreover, I need to talk later to Alvaro. Alvaro also remind me, please, I need to ask your advice, let it be. Так, rim, outline, contour, and rim made out of. I forgot about everything, you see? Crazy mom. I only have noticed that Vivian, this girl, it's necessary to check who is this girl, whether she's good enough for my Vivian. Yeah. And somewhere here is your girl. Yes. It was, where is disappeared? Here is, да? It was in links. Yes, I see. It was explanation mostly in links that you have stretching bending machine to stretch this rim. But before stretching, you need the piece, as it may be visible here in this photo. Before you stretch it, you need workpiece which has extra places aside, so-called allowance for clamping. Why do you need it? Once again, because punch is in the middle, punch move a little bit front, or it may rotate if it consists of some different pieces, or it may move front. But clamps, which were in line originally, because first this extruded profile is completely straight. Clamps move like they rotate around the punch and like behind the punch, and due to this, and also they stretch profile preliminary, and due to this, profile change the shape already permanently. And repeating the shape of punch. But all those places which are taken by clamps and distance between clamp and punch itself, it's all unnecessary workpiece portion, which is called allowance in our case. And these allowances we are going to cut at the last moment, not only to cut allowances, but to cut profile contour at all, and to drill holes. Before stretching, it's forbidden. As only you do any cutout there, this cutout will work as concentrator of stresses, and it will be resulted in destroying of profile, or at least in distortion of these cutouts and holes. So first we need to cut primitive piece with extra elements, and this primitive piece, it's possible to cut by some different ways. I have left in a picture so-called pendulum saw or dropping saw. Really, it's something like disc mill or a thin grinding wheel, but with very thin thickness, and it's stationary. What you get used, what you maybe have seen in the garage of your father, it's manual disc mill. And here in a shop, usually we have it stationary. Such a saw, it's maybe once again completely manual, and it means that it's demand adjusting of stoppers somehow by measuring or by adjusting by temperature. Or another way, when you have it CNC. Yesterday we, as far as I remember, considered both ways. Once again, we will try to repeat exactly with template. Look, first we need here to cut something in saw, or by saw. Next, we need, no, in a tooling, it will be so little bit shorter. In a tooling, we will have here bending, stretching, punch. This bending, stretching, punch, it's supposed to be manufactured somehow. So in a tooling, not in a tooling, sorry, not in a tooling. Look, I made mistake. It's not a tooling because, no, actually it's maybe considered as tooling. Any CNC machine, it may be considered as mean of garnishing, any CNC machine. Why I usually propose you to distinguish above the red line or lower the red line. If something is under the red line, we mean it's pre-production. It's a process of pre-production, and it means that we are going to use this milling machine to produce this stretching punch. Until you haven't forgot, stretching, bending, stretching, bending, punch. Next, this stretching, bending, punch. It's reduced. People, I will type only CNC meme. Forgive me. CNC milling machine. I'm lazy. I'm lazy always, and especially I'm lazy today. CNC milling machine. This CNC milling machine will be necessary for us to work with the stretching, bending, punch. We are going to make it. Next, stretching, bending, punch need compulsory one more type of equipment. This one more type of equipment, it's also CNC milling machine. But this CNC milling machine, it's, what did I say? I'm crazy. Sorry. It's also needs CNC milling machine, but not right now. This thing, stretching, bending, machine, or you may write stretching, bending, press, because if you'd like, now it's the same actually. Stretching, bending machine, it's press, it's hydraulic press. Yesterday we have seen it. I hope you understand it by kinematics of this machine, by hydro cylinders. I hope you got it. And stretching, bending, press, it's necessary to apply force. Why I draw those lines so intricate way? Don't know how to say it else. Just because to remind you who is first, who is next. Look, after this saw, we are placing some workpiece. Да что ж такое, я ничего не вижу. Silvan, it's normally visible for you. Silvan. Silvan has run away. Must be. Silvan. Oh my. Silvan do not reply. Alvara, do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you see me? Just one time, people. Great. What happened? Fuh, Silvan scared me. Silvan, do you see screen normally? Do you hear me at all? Or it's some problem with internet again?
Ma'am, can you hear me? I can hear
Yes, now
you.
I'm hearing. Now I'm hearing. Thank you.
So, okay.
Before this, you Anna came just one time. Only 40 minutes later. Anna, thank you. Так, ну, Anna, don't worry. We started only at 10 o'clock, so it's not 40 minutes. It's only 28 minutes. Look, equipment. So,
CNC machine.
no.
No, some.
So,
Okay.
да. Pendulum saw. And pay attention. I did already wrong thing. If it's saw with CNC, it's okay, да? It's in a chain of size transferring. That one, да? In case this CNC saw, then it's in line of size transferring, and at the bottom it would be in origins of coordination. It would be a program once and twice. Да? Here, program. Что это такое? I try to increase the picture. After this, it's inconvenient to draw. Program here and there. No, here is no mistake. Here is quite correct that CNC machine is controlled, this CNC machine. It's controlled by such a program. It's okay. In this case, look, if C something like this, it's included in the chain of size transferring immediately from those places. I'm going to delete it later. Yeah? It means that it's effect on the size. I said we are going to use manual saw and did everything in contrary. Great. Me is me. Так, first we will remove some things. Those things will leave. Так, next. What if we have manual saw? I said we need either something like measurer here, or we need it's diffuser, like don't worry. Or we need template. What does it mean for you? It means that here is somewhere here is a template, and so is not in line of size transfer. So is like stretching bending machine, which also not in line of size transferring. You see, it's hanging outside. No? So will hang outside. And what do we have here? We have here a template, but somewhere here we have template. Template of workpiece. Once again, I'm not tapping this by no, by all the words, let's say, no? But you please somewhere make notes. Template of workpiece. Template of workpiece which show, no, literally show only the length for you in this particular case. Template of workpiece, no, template of part development for sheet metal. It also might be considered like template of workpiece, but usually we say template of part development when it comes about development of contours of parts. It's practically normal finished part, but it's not bended yet. When it comes about part development plus the allowances for clamping, for instance, either stretch bending, either stretch forming for sheet, yeah? In this case, we usually call it template of workpiece. No, it's not something even similar to template. It's like piece of metal or piece of wood of appropriate length, and you just use it to adjust clamps in machine. In this saw, CNC saw, in order you might understand how far, not clamps, but stoppers, they're called gauges or stoppers, how far should be moved the whole profile in order to cut it first, preliminary. Look, template. But template, where it's appeared, this template. Template, it's a piece of metal or wood, which by contour repeat either the whole part or part development or some particular features in part. For instance, system of holes might be repeated, that template of drilling. Where it's appeared from? Template, it's piece of metal. And stretching bending punch, no, in general, it's not piece of metal. It's also maybe made of metal, of wood. It may be even something like constructed with using of gypsus and another rather fragile materials, depending on size and depending on technique which you use at your enterprise. If it comes about flat piece of wood or metal, it's easy to cut it from sheet metal or sheet wood. Yes, plywood, so-called. But how are you going to cut it? We may do quite the same thing here. But in this case, it would be, no, it may be said that it's a milling machine, but normally bending punches, they demand more complex machines, and it's exactly CNC milling machine. I propose to place here CNC router, milling router, two-dimensional machine. CNC milling. In order you to remember what is the router, CNC milling router. And now relations between them. No, those two machines, they are just neighbor in a shop. Template is a product of CNC template of CNC milling router. Wait a second. We'll try. No, contrary. It's inconvenient in all of cases. Anyway, it's inconvenient. Either or, it would be inconvenient. Template was made in this CNC milling router, but I use these errors in order you do not mix up which is direction. And template responsible for size. Here you see now workpiece is appeared after you use template. Sorry, I click it save occasionally. Now point hanging. And so is responsible. It's working. Yes, it's working. So let's delete this nightmare. And I also haven't said what is about the program here. Program goes to this place. Programs, and we need to understand what these programs came from. Program which is responsible for the shape of stretching punch and program which is responsible for template. How do you think where they came from? 3D model of tooling or 3D model of part itself? Shape of punch, shape of template. Sylvan, come up with idea. Sylvan,
From frame.
from? Once again, say it aloud.
From
Sylvan,
frame.
you see? Sorry. Look, program, where it came from 3D model of frame or 3D model of tooling. If it comes about shape of punch and shape of template, where it comes from? Tooling or part itself?
Shape of punch is from
Sylvan, punch and template, are they part of tooling?
Tooling.
Where this program should come from?
So 3D model of tooling.
You need 3D model of punch and you need 3D model of template in order to generate CNC program, which is responsible for the shape of those things next. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you, dear. Now it's practically no, all finished practically. No? But I still have not finished contour. Still, this thing has no any cutout. Look, I cut a piece. What in general, look onto this diagram. Using 3D model of rim, we had 3D model of rim. What 3D model of rim consists of some parts. Among them, we have rim. 3D model of rim I have used in order to create 3D model of punch. Line changes the color. Great. I love it. No, here, I mean. 3D model of punch, 3D model of template, send them to CNC machine perspective. 3D model of punch resulted next in template of, forgive me, 3D model of punch resulted next in the real punch. How? Via the CNC machine. Да? CNC machine apply force, but CNC machine recalculate sizes for its impulses for engines, inner engines. And that is why it may spoil information and it's included in the chain of transferring the size. Here, template, да? You send program to CNC router, which in tooling shop made a template. Now you're going to use this template dozens of times in normal workshop, which is responsible for manufacturing of those rims. How? You use this template of workpiece in order to find proper position of gauges on the saw. Such a saw, it's permanently cut for you workpieces. It means size of part plus allowance from one side, allowance from another side for, clamping. And so give result of its product, да, let's say, no, product of its work, it's give to no, to stretching bending punch, let's say. Да? Additionally, stretching bending press we need. It's apply force, and after it's applied the force, it's already bended profile. But this bended profile yet has no any, what it's straight yet. Да? It has no any cutout, it has no any hole, it's just stretched bended piece of profile. What do you have else here? You see that you have one more milling machine. Not router, but exactly machine, because it's not two-dimensional, it's more complex. That is why we need to place here, in line with all those things, we need to place here one more CNC machine. And this CNC machine will be responsible for the shape of part. If it's responsible for the shape of part, someone help me. Program came where from until I'm writing this CNC machine, so on. You already thinking where
3D
program
model of
is.
frame.
Exactly. Thank you. 3D model of frame because it's repeating the shape of frame, the shape of holes and cutouts in frame. Now, once again, I remind you, in order we actually they should be in one line, no? Like this. In order we might visually distinguish, we will place it a little bit in different levels, those things. Now, program for part, I place it a little bit higher. And right now, I will try to join it with line. And this line will be a bit of another color. And next, I'm going to change it also, how to show it correctly. At least in our old designations, it was like this. In new designation, it's a bit another idea of this, how to show intersections and nodes, да? What is belong to the line, what is do not belong to the line. What in I prefer what do we had in our previous system, to forgive me. No, next it's up to you, of course, how you will decide. I don't know. Так, вот так. Approximately place it. And when we need to show that it's no, bypass, yeah, we show half of circle in this place, like this. Так, here we have orange one. Don't mix up. You're already scared. Into additional creativeness. Так, уважаемые. I forgot we need to join it. What is the next part? Next it was a verb. Yes? And what was with top verb? Top verb, it has contour and holes, yes, but its contour limited with, let's place it somewhere here. Нет, не так. We are copying, we are not stealing. Top verb, it has contour, CFH hole, assembly hole, exactly like another one. But what was the difference? It has no holes for enlightening. It has no any flanges. It has no any bending elements, bended elements. It has only contour which been cut and some holes which you need to drill. How we may do it? Yesterday we did it like, no, you see, no? This CNC milling router. Like this program. And Sylvan help with this program will be from from tooling or from part. If it comes only about contour of web.
It's from the part.
Only part, exactly. Agree with you on this point. Look, I forgot to join here the great, clever me, program. And here we have something similar. So I copied already this piece, no, of joint. Так, что у нас тут? Скинуться. CNC program, and as a result you have in after milling rotor you have ready part. Top web. What is the problem with side webs? With the left web and right web? Difference is that in this case you need bending. Top web and left web. Place it somewhere aside. Also the same elements of coordination. Seems like everything the same, but really they do not. No, in contrary, they have bending. Да? They do not coincide with technology. If you analyze this place, what, for instance, here, да? Let's place the proximate. And here. Look how similar they are. No, also, what instead of what we see saw and so on, да? Look, what is the difference? Here we have saw, and here we have, I don't know whether you see normally or not. Let's increase it. Stretching punch, form block, да? Bending stretching machine, hydra press. Saw, CNC milling rotor. CNC machine to make punch, CNC machine to make from program. People, everything is the same. But literally, I may copy down. Look, that one I will delete. But on purpose, but literally. I will, and one more line I forgot. What happened to me today? Something wrong with my head. Look. If you see something is hanged, the only things that might be hanged, it's equipment like press, so something like this might be hanged like such a ball, yeah, or without roots. It grows from nowhere, yeah. Everything must be included in the dimensional chains. Everything. Great. And my English is also very good today. Look, what I'm going to do. Somewhere aside, I will what, take this piece. The only problem I might imagine that will be at the bottom because intertwining of lines there. And now let's imagine that I'm working not with profile, but I'm working with piece of sheet instead of stretching, bending punch. It will be form dial, да? Form block. It's written like one word. Don't worry, it's one word, form block. Or you may type it with two words if you'd like. Instead of stretching, bending, press here, I would have hydro press. Что это такое? No, almost correct. Да, hydraulic press. No, hydraulic press. Yesterday we have seen hydro pressing. Да? Hydro stamping, hydro pressing. How it's called? It was yesterday. It was somewhere here before we start. What hydroforming? No, hydroforming. Hydroforming press. Better in case someone asks you, you may say that it's press with rubber cushion or it's so-called hydroforming press. Whatsoever both are hydraulic presses actually. So better to write maybe hydroforming press. What else I need to change? Look, template of workpiece here. Instead of template of workpiece, I need template of part development. It's already without template of part development. Template part development. What it for? It's to save money. It's not something really much important. No? It's only to save money. I may use here CNC machine, for instance, but CNC machine is more expensive. If you'd like, you may insist that you are using here CNC router. If you don't like, you may place here a CNC milling router to make template. I forgot here. Yeah. It's not saw, it's milling router also. CNC router. Sorry, I do not change order of words. Suppose it's CNC router. Yeah? Now look, after I changed some names, I may copy it, goes upside, yeah, and place it here. Вот такое. This тут. Look, practically the same. What this place and where is it? This place. Да? What is the difference? Here I make complicated place instead of CNC milling router, like it was. Да? It's complicated, but in real life it would be cheaper. I mean, eh, sorry. I may do something like this also at this place instead of what I have invented here. No? I may place oh, that one. And it will be identical, as you might see, to the bottom yesterday diagram. I mean, technology seems like the same in some cases. Problem is only in different equipment. For profile, you use one type of equipment. For sheet, you use another type of equipment. I will not change it like this. No? I will leave it like we did originally in order you do remember about both of possible variants. What next do we have? Yesterday we talked about that these outer and inner caps, which are made of как-то, вот так, да, тут поставим, which are made of L-shaped profiles. In technological meaning, they may be considered the same as rims. The only difference that they have no cutouts, but anyway, they have fillets. If necessary, I might find and open someone drawing in our white. Oh, here is someone. White private chat. As yesterday, someone said, no, private, it's not literally private, madam. People, it's a one. Taking it for history, it's a one. Why it's not crime? As long as it's a one, it's stop crime for one, you see? No, that is me, of course. No, as usual. If someone is in crown, you understand, it comes about me. Так, wait a second. Almost in the place. The one I should have clumped it might be. In order not to search it for years, да? Так, where we might see it properly. It seems like nowhere. What at this place, for instance, at this place, at the rim, they have some, no, something like cuts. At this place, it's also visible. Look, the one with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, where they have stiffeners with joggle, it's visible that cap has little bit greater width in this place. It means originally the whole cap, it was wider, it was of another size. And next they cut pieces in order these pieces has minimum weight, but in place where they need additional strength, they left piece of material here and there. Sorry. Also somewhere at their bottom, such things, they usually have what something like fillets in those places. Да? It's not literally cut by saw. And it means that after you use stretching, you anyway forced to use milling or some another cutting machine in order to make all these features in this cap. Yes, it has no cutouts, but anyway, contour of it is different. As to the inner cap, it's visible, greatly visible as for me in this place. Look, it has a regular width, seems like, да? But here, this width is much wider, greater. Actually, with outer cap, it's also like this. It's visible that it's wider here than there, but it's still the same part. If it's made of extruded profile, it means that originally they took profile of this width and next they cut it along the contour to the necessary width. And here it's visible, no, I don't know, like enlightened, twice wider than at this place, for instance. No? So anyway, you need to cut it off. So technology is completely the same like it was with RIM, just another name of part. What I proposed you yesterday to do, one way, like take this, no? Copy down, place it twice for one cap and for another cap. No? So if you think diagram of coordination will be more impressive in this way, do it, but it's not necessary. Yeah. It's quite enough if you do something like reference point. I propose you this reference point under the outline contour because they have a little bit different elements of coordination. Yeah? Again, I did without thinking, forgive me. This please. Let's see here. Something like this, and in this place we will use circle with value and have the same circles under the top cap and inner cap and outer cap. If you like, we may even use another color in order it's better visible. So spirit diagram one. Part number one and technology of this part number one is given. Так, part number one and part number one. I hope no questions as to this, please. Or if you have questions, do ask your question. Are you? Hello.
No questions.
No, Someone, you usually sound like whispering. I hope you said you have no questions. I hope. I'm not sure.
No questions. No questions.
Okay.
Actually, I have so many questions, but no questions.
Ask your questions. No problem.
No,
Or
I will.
you at least after record.
Yeah, off the record.
Why? Are someone afraid to ask questions in front of everyone, or what? What happened?
I'm a kind of shy person.
Shy person. Shy person, it's Anna, shy person, sitting silently, quietly, like little legend mouse. No any question during the whole semester. That is shy person. Appearing half an hour after the class start, silently, sitting silently, leaving silently, no any question at all. I'm already about to forget her voice. Так, look, until it's saved. Also, we need to finish here this place at the bottom to draw the additional line. Да? No, we understood, I hope, that programs comes from both programs. They related to the tooling, template of part development, forming block. They are from tooling model like this, yeah? Not from part model. We have two more parts, even three more parts. Look, the pad, this one, oh, bottom. Here is what this pad looks like. It's a little piece of sheet, and this little piece of sheet, it has some holes. How you may produce such parts? May you cut it, for instance, like a little rectangle with fillets and some, maybe a dozen of holes for rivets. May you produce such a part, for instance, in milling rotor, using milling rotor? Yes, no problem. But in order, like to train ourselves in different technologies, maybe it will be useful for someone. We will propose another technology. It's sheet metal part, not big. It's important. No? It's around of area of our palm in size in a drawing, and it has a dozen of holes. May we do it in a cutting die by punching and blanking in a die? Yes, we may. We may propose on one hand. Давайте, we will copy this one first. Now we are going to work with this. On one hand, we may say that it's quite the same technology as it was for top web. May we do it? Yes. We may insist that it's, for instance, let's place here part number 2, like this. No? And let's do the same under the pad like we did with caps. No? Something like this. Part number 2. Do refer to this technology. No problem. It's possible. It's quite possible. How much it's rational to use milling machine or stamping die depends on some factors. Once again, usually if everything is like equal, let it be in chances. Size of part, material of part. Maybe material is fragile. Maybe it's not for this strike cutting, no? Shear cutting. Maybe it's too much fragile and it's give bad roughness and bad accuracy on sides if you cut it by die. If everything else is equal, next factor which you must consider when choosing of that or another equipment, choosing that or another technology of manufacturing, next factor is what is the program of manufacturing? How much of identical parts you're going to produce for this frame? But for instance, for this frame, how many top webs you have? One frame, one web. When it comes about the parts, how many parts do you have? One frame, two heads. Couple of these doublers on the left, on the right. When it comes about left web, the only left web, the only right web. All those parts are unique, but pads already twice. When it comes about panels, no one has panel in your little row. But anyway, in panel, no, what do we have in our pre-grader task, for instance? No? In panel, you have so many knees, and mostly they are made of sheet. So many knees, how many intersections of frames and stringers you have. Not do not remember exactly what we have counted, but in one panel it was some dozens. Yes, Savan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And it's rational, and parts are identical. Do you imagine that they are completely the same? It's rational in this case to produce them in a die. No, in this case, whether it's rational or not, we are not discussing. Just considering the parts are small in a shape, that parts are more than one for this frame. And in order to train ourselves how to show it in diagram of coordination, we will do. But literally, it's not necessary in your frame. So if you place here the same technology as for top web, but like this, it would be also quite normal. Got it? Either repeat it like this or place it with this value no, with this marker, technology number 2. Doesn't matter. Right now we do something else only in, no, for studying purposes, as it called. So once again, I said we are going to use dia. Dia, we are supposed to be cutting dia. What line is supposed to be used? Look, which line supposed to be used, people? Help me to
Tooling?
answer, please. Tooling. Oh, what clever children I have.
But,
Так. Что?
uh,
Do you mean that I hinted?
no. I'm wondering why it is
No,
tooling,
no,
it's
no
not
problem.
equipment.
Of course, it's not equipment, it's tooling, yes. So we are going to use dia in line of, ну, что отсюда? Dia in line of tooling. Cutting dia. It's a tooling. What we need first to make this cutting die? To be frank, it's too much primitive to say that we use CNC milling machine, but we may say we use CNC machine cutting die. How die has appeared? Да? Cutting die for, no, actually it's supposed to be written not just cutting die, but something like blanking and punching. Да? Blanking and punching. Not for me, but for you. Because during defense, you forget about everything at all. Yeah?
Yes.
You know everything, but when it's when you are under the acting of stress, you're forgetting about everything, even about the name of your mom. Look, cutting die. This cutting die. No, on one hand, yes, it's also need press, like it was here. Да, what we have a press. Let's steal it. Oh. But here it was hydro press, and we need here not hydro press, but mechanical press. Mechanical press, I hope you do remember yesterday we seen it with flywheel. Да? Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой, какой позор. What a shame. I'm not able to write simple word. Mechanical press. But cutting die, where it's appeared from. Press is hanging in the air, it's quite normal. It just applies the force. What is the history of cutting die appearance? Prepositions. Where to steal from? Where to steal from? Look, we have a lot of places. For instance, maybe they take it here.
It should be
Yes, maybe.
tooling.
Да? Maybe do it like this. Yes. Да?
Yes.
Agree? Maybe steal something here. Look, does it change something?
No, ma'am.
Why? Look, if I delete this unnecessary last, да? Why no, man? What a weird logic my student has.
Yeah, it's same.
Ну,
That's what I
еще
mean. That's not change.
the same, of course. Maybe name of machine may be a little bit different. Maybe. Why I say that name of machine may be a little bit different. Look, wait a second. I will repeat this. Oh, правильно. Name of machine. No, here we don't need this arrow. Seems like, да? Name of machine. CNC milling machine cutting die actually consists of dozens of different dozens of parts, and some of them like bending punch and bending punch, cutting punches, and the die block inside this plate with openings which repeat the contour of part and contour of holes. They made of very hard material, of very strength, very hard material. Really, in real life, such things they're usually manufactured not in Not in milling machines. Milling machine it's insufficient, let's say, to cut. And to cut especially inner cavities. And yes, we were saying it. Milcom. Find it. To show you. First years, slides, pause. Yes. Look at this. I trust you know this way of manufacturing. You must be already forgot the name, but you know it. Look, it's cutting by wire. You see? As far as I remember, you even had such laboratory class in machining. It's not milling. Does someone remember the name?
EDM, electrical discharge machining, right?
Exactly, EDM, the electro discharge machining. Clever, clever people we have. Thank you. No, seriously. Thank you. Так, kinds of TP, current technological transformation. А ну давайте глянем. Yes, EDM machining. Now, it's meaning. Oh, and it's maybe of wire type, if maybe of RAM type, no, which repeat the whole cavity by the tool. Or it's maybe progressively cut by wire, doesn't matter. Idea is that it's cutting, it's electrochemical cutting actually. No, no, you may say it electromechanical because anyway it has two. It's not just chemical dissolving or something like uh, for instance, arc welding, no? Electrical cutting. Here is little explosions, let it be, no? On the surface of part, it's tiny explosions, something like no, it's appearing like electrical arc between element of part. But here is in next slide, it's visible. No? Little arcs which appear and disappear, and it's resulted like in tiny explosions on the surface. And these tiny explosions, they happen at the places where tool comes to, let's say. Yeah? The part itself, it's like one electrode. In this case, the tool, it's another electrode, and everything else is surrounded with the electroconductive liquid in special bus. Да. So if you type here that it was not milling machine, but it was CNC EDM. EDM, it's by definition always CNC. It's never controlled manually. Maybe somewhere it was controlled by hands before even it was invented and exists. But it's exists only in CNC variant. It's computer controlled. Так, so cutting die. After cutting die, we have ready part. And somewhere here I forgot to line, I think. Да? Да, конечно. Такой трэш творится вообще. Look, almost all the diagram on the place. What do we still have? We still have stiffeners and little joining profiles. What is the difference between stiffeners and joining profiles? So one, help me, remind me.
Stiffeners are a part which goes through all the like web caps
Да,
and
да,
reams, but the
да.
locating is
Is it the truth what you are talking about or not?
sorry, what, madam?
Stiffener. Where is the stiffener in this drawing? Here is, look, in cross-section, да?
Yes.
We see stiffener, and in this general view, we don't see them. They are on back side. Those parts, these little parts, transversal, да? They seems like they are joining one cap and another cap. They join it to the web, and they join one cap and another cap. The stiffeners, by definition, they make web stiffer. You may, on one hand, you may do web, do imagine that all the area, all the volume of material that you concentrated in stiffeners, you are dispersing like you dispersing it on the surface of web. Maybe all this material that now it's like concentrated inside of stiffener, да? It will add там 0.2 millimeters to the thickness of web. Strength would be the same, whether you have web with stiffeners or you have web without stiffeners, but web it's a little bit thicker. Like the same volume of material. Strength is identical when it comes about extension or when it comes about shearing. But when it comes about compressing and bending, one more important characteristic is stiffness. And no, Slovan, I mean, how could you explain? I mean, in this camera, as I did once already. Sorry. Показать экран, включить камеру. Do you like my birds?
Yeah, but I don't understand a thing.
What you do not understand? My birds?
Yes, ma'am.
I never seen this movie, but I like these birds. They are so
Oh,
classy.
birds. I heard like words. I thought you were asking, do you like my words?
Смотри. Words. No, sorry, my English. Piece of paper, да? It's visible. I watch it in the screen. When if I extend it, да, it's normal strength. I can't break it. No, if I pull it, extend it, it's not
Yeah.
to be tear it off. But as I try to compress it, what happens? No, you see, it's bends, да? But in this direction, it's not even such bendable. It's buckling, да? It's called. I. When it comes in longer side, it would be even worse. If I place it, да, and push it, you see, it can't stay at all. Let's do next thing. Once we already did something like this. Look what I did.
You place a stiffener, for example, you
I
place a stiffener.
changed the shape. I changed momentum of inertia of this thing. When I touch it, it's already better, but it's still buckling the sides. Sorry, you have seen my box with chalks. Так. And what is it now? Look, I changed it to sides. One side I made one fold, да, and you see still some buckling here if I touch it, да. Look in another side. Practically, yeah, I even compress it more tightly. Practically nothing changes. The more ribs, the less, no, like a more concentrated momentum of inertia to the center of inertia. No, okay, you got it. Так, как это выключить? Вот так. Возобновить показ. the more close material to the center of inertia, the more stiff part is. In case of web, whether it's a little bit thinner or thicker, strength is enough, but stiffness is very poor. A web is like sheet of paper. It's trembling in hands. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the point? To concentrate some portion of web material and do the stiffeners. Like they scratch some layer of web and make these ribs stiffeners to unstiffen the web, yeah, to make it more stiffer.
To maintain the strength,
No strength is the same. Oh, strength
not
does not
stress.
change.
Strength. Okay, okay,
Stiffer,
okay,
stiffness.
okay.
Strength
Understood.
is the same. Stiffness is different. It's another characteristic. Got it?
Got it, madam.
If you say during defense to make it more strength, committee will laugh. Oh, they will cry with laugh, like loud out loud, laugh out loud. That it's called in English. Loud. No, they will cry because of heart pain, heart attack.
I understood.
We sit down, like we have taught them, and as a result, they have nothing, and so on. Yeah? Don't make people cry, please. Yeah, I will use Telegram for this purpose to cut the piece. This piece I'd like to see. What I'd like to see. I've seen it by dozens of times already, those things. No, let it be that one. Ну-ка посмотри. Ага, вот. Now they are on back side. We don't see them. We know that they exist. Да? They are straight, made of extruded profile. What did I mean to ask you? What they looks like, Selvan? Maybe I need to open yesterday picture. Maybe I sent it here. No? No, I sent only movies. Yes. I didn't send the picture. Or send it. The picture that we have been working
No
yesterday. No,
pictures.
no, I haven't sent it yet. Sorry. Then we need to open it. Sorry, computer, we need it. So one, picture number 2. Now it's turn of computer to write. Look, what is the difference between stiffener and little profile? No, don't watch onto this picture. I mean three-dimensional, because little profile here practically shown straight. But on these little pictures here, yeah, joining profile, look, joining profile, it's shown that it's not straight, it's bent. Yes?
Yes, madam.
What is the difference between stiffener and joining profile? Repeating my question that I asked maybe 10 minutes ago the first time.
Locating profile are similar in shape. I
Joining
mean, and
profile,
also bent.
complicated. Come again, but let's call it joining profile, not locating.
Joining profile are similar in shape in which the two parts to be joined and they are bent for a certain angle. But stiffness are straight
Mhm.
and all the
Then-
stiffness for a
By
assembly
couple of
unit.
words. Yes, you are right, but less words to use. How to say? Stiffeners are straight, joining profile is bent. No?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, let it be blue one is joining profile and green one is a stiffener. Joining profile may be a little bit less in cross section, maybe, What is the difference? That one is straight. And drawing profile is oh, look, somehow. Ой, и что за хулиганский язык? So maybe propose the same technology for both of them. So wow.
No.
Then please you do propose me what should be technology in one case and in another case. Do you recollect what we said about cutting of profile when we talked about extruded profile? And propose me how we're going to cut it.
Ma'am, cutting and extruding is same, but there is a bend in joining profile. So the only addition is that bending machine, bending
Bending, да, no, not bending machine. Bending
bending
machine,
process, bending process,
bending
forming
press. No, bending
bending
process.
press.
Yeah, bending process. We need some. Look, do you recollect once again what I said about this stretching bending machine? No, above all, we usually use this stretching bending, whether it comes about sheet or it comes about the profile. Так, это it's about skins, it's about, да, вот, да, sheet by stretching and profile by stretching. In both of cases, you see how much portion of material is wasted for allowance, this allowance necessary for clamping. When it comes about bending profile, bending machine, it's even worse because, no, I may open a scheme in our laboratory manual about bending, and you will see there that piece of part which in touch with punch and repeat the punch. It's not even all surface of punch. It's to like 60% of punch, and everything next is just wasted. Something inside of clamp, but mostly it's between clamp and bending punch. Wasted piece of profile, wood, aluminum material, not cheap one, but you just wasted. When it comes about long parts, big in size, it has a point. But when it comes about part which 10 centimeters in length, and you are going to waste, for instance, 2 meters of material, it seems like too much. Agree?
Agree.
Now, and secondly, when we usually use this stretching machine, when we have complex shape with so-called low curvature. Low curvature, it means that radius of bending is very big. And this stretching effect, this spring back effect that we talked yesterday about some words, literally some words it was.
Yes.
Yeah? This strange spring back effect, this springing back, is the greater RDE, the greater spring back. No, it's proven. It's easy to understand even theoretically, but it's proven in experience about the law. The more ready, the more material in this zone of bending, it's like more material is involved in bending, more volume of material. The more portion of material accumulate the so-called elastic energy. I hope you do remember the diagram of loading, this stress deformation diagram. And you do remember that first we have a straight line, and this is straight line next means that Так, let's open empty place somewhere. First you have straight line you are working with. Next you have some portion of something like yielding of material. Next it's growth and breaking. Yeah? But what if you want here the axis, let it be. What if you don't come up to the point of breakage here? What if you stop earlier? How material will go back? Do you remember this or not? Will material walk again along the same line like this? Or material goes in this way next, да? When you extend it like this, when you stop it, it's go by line which parallel to this first line, да? To the elasticity line. Why? Because it saved energy, so call it the elastic energy. It saved energy, and this energy is responsible for this. No, it's like accumulated energy, elastic energy, and make this energy spring back. This material, it would be either no. If you extend it, it will be shortening, for instance, of material. If you change the shape, it's maybe some distortion of shape. And quite clear that the more, no, it's so-called elementary volume, да? The more elementary volumes you have, the more this energy accumulated, and the more spring back you will have. The greater radii means the greater piece of material is involved into this accumulating of elastic energy, and next it will have more spring back. And that is why usually it's proposed to do with stretching. So, what is stretching effect? What is based on? If you are working with, like what you bend material here, yeah, what it was straight and you bend it. Top layers they are extended. No, in comparison, in contrary to the previous state when it was straight, yeah, you have extended them. They are extended. Bottom layers, in contrary, they are compressed. You are trying to shorten them. And if we draw here so-called epure of stresses and deformation, at the top it would be plus, да? No, I hope it's plus, I don't remember exactly. It's so-called extension stresses. At the bottom, it would be in another side stresses of compression. And somewhere this line cross the zero line, and somewhere there are no stress at all. Somewhere is so-called neutral line. What change? What happened if you release the load? First, you had moment, bending moment like this. Yeah. Now you are releasing something, and material is going to. What is going to do? This thing is like this, and this thing is like this. Yeah. Material is springing back. So it's not that shape, it's some another shape. It's like straightening, да? Springing back. Something. What? Straightening, let it be. Now I understand that it's too dirty picture in my explanation. Now, do you imagine that? No, once again, look. Here you had. Let's delete this, please. Completely not necessary. On one hand, you have extending here. On the other hand, you had compression here of the same force moment. Yeah? And due to this, you have this diagram, which is responsible next for springing back. Да? No, not diagram responsible. We just formalize the task like this. If we have plus minus, it would be complete changing the shape. What if you, instead of plus minus, have stresses of the only sign? For instance, instead of plus minus, you'll do something like, it means neutral axis somewhere outside of path. So path is here. And stresses are only of one sign. For instance, you had only stresses of extension here. Stresses. What if you release the force? What happened? Path shortening altogether. Yeah? It's shortened, but it's practically does not change the shape. Of course, it might change shape because you still have here what difference here, for instance, and there. Yeah? But if you apply more force of stretching, it's preliminary stretching. How this people has appeared? Because you have such figure and this figure. Yeah? Stretching plus normal equal to plus and to minus. Yeah? It might be resulted in this one. So, do you remember this? Oh, you here for first time? Do you
I remember
studied
stress diagrams, I know.
stress diagram? Do you remember this one, stretching effect? Why we apply stretching effect?
Yes, ma'am.
Ну, теперь да. Now, yes. You had the whole semester studying this. No, not this particular fact, but at all. And the more stretching you apply preliminary, the far this diagram to this side, and the less chance that it's spring back. It's shortening, but not spring back. Spring back. But of course, the more stretching you apply preliminary, the more chance that you tear off the part. It's also might happen. You understand? And let me to remove these dreadful pictures. Anyway, they will be in record. All this childish doo-doo, you forgive me. Or like someone drunk and have drawn this. Ой, кошмар. Да, так вот, it's very little, but yes, it's low curvature, but it's very little. Even if it's springing back, it's more rational to use so-called manual after working, no? No, if we see that something changes. And one more way to prevent spring back, not to prevent, but to counter work to spring back. If you understand that part next will be springing back to some value, you may preliminary bend it more than necessary in order next it spring back to the some appropriate shape. It's another way to solve this problem. But of course, this way it's rather difficult to calculate. Now, when we have computers, it's more simple. But in technological meaning, in technical meaning, the most simple decision is addition of this stretching force in order to reduce compressing stresses in layers of material in order to reduce spring back effect. And and once again, one thing we need only to cut. Moreover, shape it's not so simple as I have drawn. Shape approximately looks like, but if I have brains, I don't forget to change color. If I draw it, but originally it was straight like this. And what we have seen in drawing, we even made picture on purpose once again. Why? Да? What we have seen in the drawing. We practically do not see another side, but this side we see, this vertical side. And what it looks like, the cut piece here, the cut piece here, I'm sorry. I'm not see what I do. Maximum, maximum. So finally, path looks approximately like and it has holes. How many holes? It depends on the length. I hope you do remember. They all are a bit different in length. Do you dislike? No? And this difference in length, it means that in part list, you should write them separately. And no, if only left, right, maybe consider it like the same. And in part supply conditions, they also might have different amount of pilot holes. But in meaning of diagram of coordination, in meaning of technologies, they are the same. They look like this. As to these joining profiles, they also might have changed contour. A little bit changed, it means that they have fillets somewhere on sides. Somewhere here they have filleted, of course, because we have no these straight corners, they are not necessary in aircraft. Not because we're afraid of straight corners, but because they are not working. They don't take part in receiving the loads and no, it's like extra weight that we are bringing inside of aircraft, but really it doesn't work in terms of stress. And here, of course, it also has some holes on each side. Like stiffener have on one side holes only, because this rib is sticking out from the surface. And those things, they have holes, pilot holes on both of sides. So we need something to make holes after, and we need something to make contours. May such a thing be manufactured by milling? Yes, it's made. But also it's maybe manufactured by dia if you have identical values of corners, fillets in all the stiffeners. If even you have different lengths of those stiffeners, tips of them, ends of them are the same, and you may use, for instance, a die for cutting these contours, like it was in PET. What right now we see the same technology here: cutting die, mechanical press, and cutting die somehow is manufactured. Yeah? No any another no thing you need. To be frank, you may be asked also what additionally you supposed to have here for cutting die. For this cutting die, you preliminarily cut material by guillotine shears. So theoretically saying, it may be something like what here, да? Like it was,
Saw.
да, guillotine shear, what saw CNC template of workpiece and so on. Here, for beds also maybe proposed to use instead of saw guillotine shear and template of workpiece and so on. You may preliminary do strips for cutting die, for instance. But literally, when it comes about profile, cutting die don't need strips because profile it already seems like the strip at all, да? And you may use cutting die, mechanical press, and that's it. You have the ends of parts for stiffeners, and you may insist that you do not drill holes, but you punch holes. It's just pilot holes, nothing more. You may punch them, even assembly holes you may punch. Another variant, we will come into another variant, and not because it's important, but because we just like to do something different. The only The only point why we do it in another way. Something different in order to see how it might be. Now we have here stiffener, and we are going to work with the stiffener. How exactly? For instance, we are going to use so, as you said. No, if I'm not mistaken, you said so. Ой, я все время путаю. I'm probably changing the two, no, mixing up the two. So, no, in this case, it's not pendulum saw, it should be band saw, for instance, да? By the word, it's not good decision. No, by the word, да? Band saw. Next, how this band saw is operated. I hope you do remember what we did previous time. We did template of a piece, and it was CNC router, да? Let's steal it, I'm sorry. Template of a piece, CNC router, like this. But instead of template of workpiece, here, no, it's practically no difference. In this case, instead of template of workpiece, it will be template of contour. The template which show the ready part, not workpiece. Template of contour, since in the router, which made template of contour, here we have, because it's template, we have here something like this. Да что это такое? Опять забыл поменять инструмент. Так? So goes in this direction to work with template. And question is where to stop? No? No, actually you may go not try to join something to one line. No? You may go it like this. You may add here even some lines, what I mean, like this. No problem, actually, no need to separate like some of you do. Contour is separately, outline is separately, it's silly for you. Because in most of cases, it comes twice and thrice about processing of contour, no? But you are trying to disperse the lines. You may do it like this, or I usually do it as you have seen. I do it in some order. In order, you guys remember what is the process. No, like to help you. How we're going to make holes? No, certainly we need drilling machine. Drilling machine. Okay, let it be drilling machine. It's maybe CNC drilling machine. If it's CNC drilling machine, no problem. Like it was here. Where? What? Here. CNC milling machine program. Let's take a piece here in order to adjust it, but next I propose to delete it. Once again, in order you see different variants. You may see that you have here CNC milling machine program which take place from model of part, as you might see even by color, because it comes about ready part. And finally you have the whole part. One variant. Another variant. What if instead of CNC milling machine, I will use milling machine, yes, or the simple drilling machine, but without CNC. It may be CNC milling machine, CNC drilling machine. I might use just, sorry, drilling machine, no any CNC. But how drilling machine will know where to start work, where to drill? For instance, for drilling machine, I'm going to use additionally one more template. On one hand, this sends simulating router to template of contour for me. On the other hand, the same router will do template of drilling. Template of drilling is just a piece of plate which repeat all the holes, and it might have drilling bushes, for instance. And now you see, no? Drilling machine goes with its force to template of drilling, and template of drilling, oh, let it be like this. Or if you'd like, you may add it immediately to those green box. I draw complicated schemes, those complicated schemes, a little bit on purpose. Actually, if instead of whatever I did here, you will just draw program CNC milling machine stiffener, it's also correct. Question is only rational, not rational. But the question, what is more rational, what is less rational, it's actually solvable only in real life. Whatever you insist, like about nothing, not in real life, it's not possible to prove, really. We may consider, we may speculate about, but it's not provable. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Next, what else do we have? What else do we have? We have need in space. Sorry, cut here. We need to do something like joining profile. One of lines has already lost it, maybe forever. I mean, in this approximate grid, in order I might see where to draw. No? And we need joining profile. Joining profile, what it differ from this stiffener, that in contrary to stiffener, it's need additional line of bending. Копировать, ставить, поставить сюда. Joining profile. And wait a second. Level 1. Has repaired the grid, has broken the grid in a second. Oh, how you appeared here. Thank you. We don't need you here. Так. And joining profile. Look, do we have lines with bending? Вот смотрите. For block, hydra press, no? Yes, we have. Do we have lines with bending of what that one? Yes, we have. May we do something, like copying this portion to that part? Yes, but we will use another equipment in this case. Look, for instance, we talking about such a place, let's say. Да? Копировать. Let's place somewhere aside what we need. We don't need stretching bending punch. We need just bending dia, but not stretching bending punch. Bending dia, it's already include both dia block and punch, in contrary to stretching bending punch. There additional point in machines with stretching that they reduce spring back effect first, And they are usually working with very big path, with large paths. And they are saving additionally money on the half of dia, because literally they have only half of dia. Dia is punch and dia block, male part and female part. When we're talking with stretching machines, we already don't need female part. We need only a punch. Так, and no, that one we will remove in order it's not make us stressed. Да? Stretching bending machine we don't need. We have mechanical press. It's enough. Ой. Just press. Not even bending press, да? There is no bending presses. Just mechanical press. Instead CNC milling machine, I will write CNC drilling machine. No problem at all. I will do it like this. I will replace it to this side. What for? Look. First, I will cut everything, and next I will bend. In contrary to parts with stretching, that one is very simple. You might do holes really linear if you go to work in a bending dia instead of stretching punches. You may do holes even before. You may do them later, up to you. So you may do it before, like I'm doing now, bending dia, press, CNC machine. No, actually, suppose it's CNC EDM machine, like it was where it was. Cutting dia, cutting dia, cutting dia, where you. Oi. I see. I didn't get why it doesn't have sliders. Because, no? Look, CNC EDM machine. You might say that also for this die use not milling machine, for instance, but CNC EDM machine for some elements of this die. Thank you. I choose. And instead of cutting separately by saw, like I proposed for stiffener, once again I propose just for variety of variants. Instead of drilling in special machine, we may use CNC milling machine once here. Так, мы даже вот эту просто удалим. Вот так вот. This CNC milling machine will do something before you comes to bending, because you already cut something, drill holes, place it in the bending dial. Let's place our technology immediately under the joining profile and file this relief. Almost finished. We need finally to join all the lines. Now I'm trying to finish it rather accurately, all those lines, at least in a portion of diagram which refer to the parts manufacturer. Here we have referring to the model of tooling because it's dia. This program certainly it goes to parts, да? And where it goes to parts, ну вот это я, конечно, тут не очень удачно сделала. It should be a little bit higher in order more convenient to move this line. Да? And don't forget that everywhere where they have not compulsory, by the way. It just in my drawing it looks like this. You may arrange everything accurately in your real drawing, No, in my case, it's not even similar to drawing. You may arrange everything normally, and it will be quite okay anyway. Yeah. First, let's restore here the line, and let's do bypass. Yeah. Line is restored, but not good. Sure. No, something like this. Half circle, which is over the first way. Now, here, and finally here. Da, impressive. And what is necessary to
Connect all the parts to the jig.
not connect all the parts into one single line and send them to the jig? Yes, exactly. Da, Silvan, looks very simple. Too much simple. Yes.
I can, the process which is explained in this coordination diagram is actually simple. It's like we are cutting, we are bending, we are
Yes.
drilling. But
And during defense, you are asked questions about one or another part. No one might know which parts committee start asking you about. It's maybe any part in diagram. It's maybe any element of the jig. No, people not with record to be said actually, but you may understand that each of us, if you compare how much time I'm already spent for explanation of this poor, the only diagram to the only student, no? After you've been explaining typified diagrams and so on, I hope it's quite clear for you that for me it's much simpler and shorter in time, no? To save time of mine. Just draw it instead of you and send it to you. Yes? Hello.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great way, yes, to solve problem. It takes me maybe 15 or 20 minutes. I may do sketch in a paper, or I may do immediately in a compass, couple of hours, and that's it.
Because of your 30 years or 20 years
No, because
experience.
my job to make you able to do it. What that is my role, да? First. Secondly, next, what if even I did very correct diagram, I gave it to you, even explaining something. Next, you stand in front of committee alone. No, I'm also with you, but I must have to be
I
silent.
know.
Да? Да. I have to be silent. I must be silent. And so what? You have very good job, and you're completely not able to explain what is. And what committee say about you? Ooh, you are primitive thief. Yes? You have stolen this. No, not quite stolen. You have been presented, but doesn't matter. Anyway, if even you take someone else's work or someone did it instead of you, next you need to answer the questions. At least something you're supposed to know to get your diploma. Sorry, bad news. Something you're supposed to know. Everything you're supposed to know. Yes? Come on. Are you already crying? Or you laughing there?
Both.
Both crying through tears. We have such a saying in our language. Плакать сквозь слезы. Crying through tears. Okay. Simultaneously with tearing.
Shall we stop damaging
Laughing,
me because we are on the
laughing,
record?
laughing through tears or laughing simultaneously with crying. Not something like this, but remind you, some places I have complicated on purpose in order to show different variants. Да? The only thing this diagram has no, it's skin, but when it comes about rolled skin, it's very similar to. It has no also sheet part that made of no long-sided part which made CNC vibrate. No, it's maybe compare it with something else. Stretched skins, they are compared with quite the same structure, but with another names, as I have shown on purpose. When I have shown something for what this, you see, for these webs, if you remember still, I have copied the structure of this place and just changed the names. Even tracks of these changed names, they are still visible. With this letter G here and so on. The same with skins which are stretched. We might just copy this structure and change some names of machines and templates and so on. Not templates even. Templates of workpiece will be quite the same, but instead of saw here will be hillet and shear, instead of bending machine will be forming machine, and instead of stretching bending punch, you should write stretching forming punch or wrapping punch. Yeah? Uh, everything else is quite the same. And when it comes about the long-sided parts made on the brake, they usually have no tooling, but they have CNC controlled machine. However weird it looks like this one. What it comes about cutting here, да? But there it will be instead of CNC milling rotor, it will be CNC V-brake press, да? V-bending press. CNC V-brake or CNC V-bending, it's instead of milling rotor. And before, no, if it comes about stringers, you need strip of material. Before you start work with CNC milling rotor, you also need to use hillet and shear. Hillet and shear, it's like here, that you have either hillet and shear with CNC, so CNC, great. No CNC in this, so безобразие. It's just simple, so. If saw with CNC, it's inside of chain. Да? Here is not saw with CNC. It's CNC without any. It's saw without any CNC manual one. I just started at the beginning to show two variants. And what did I say? That additional first you need to cut material for strips with fillet and shear, and next you bending material in with bending machine. Similar thing I said you must be proposing to add here, for instance, like first you need hillet and shear, which are cutting the strips, and strips you place into this cutting die. But once again, if instead of all this structure for pets, I mean, you will place something like here, thin similar rotor, and that's it. It's also correct. Correct, no problem. No wrong girls. There are no wrong girls. All girls are good, but it depends on what you need. No, you do remember, there are three girls and so on. Which one is better? Which one is better? Depends on. Which technology is better? Depends on. You remember this always. There are no best technology. There is no best technology. Like there is no no about girls. There is the best girl, the only for you somewhere. She exists already. But again, it depends on you. It's the best exactly for you, considering all the factors: your temper, your age, your nations, your cultural features, peculiarities, not features. Depends on all these factors, she's the one for you. Так, about manufacturing of parts and diagram of coordination, it's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
About girls, it's also clear.
Yeah, that's clear.
At least something is clear today. I'm not sure about diagram of coordination, but about girls, you certainly understood. It's very good. It's enough. For this class, it's already enough.